Take two. What's up, guys? It's Polly John here with my friend Jibs. Today we're going to be debating which is better, language learning in the classroom or language learning on your own, self-study. So one benefit of self-study is it's at your own pace. You can go and do as much as you want or as little as you want. So for people who are really independent and don't like going places and being social, it's beneficial because you can do it whenever you want, wherever you want. And that's just really convenient. But what is a pro for the classroom?
Well, it keeps you accountable. Basically, you can't slack off, otherwise you don't learn anything. You also have your peers to help you if you do fall behind. Basically, it creates an environment where you either learn or you don't.
I think that the competition is also a good motivator because, like, I used to dance and I was in a dance studio, a ballet studio for about 2 years, and I was the only guy. And then I had a male teacher come in and teach me a little bit, and then he said, go to a place that has other guys because competition pushes you to achieve even more. So another benefit of self-study is you can do it anywhere. Like, I took my book, my Asimil book, and I went to New Zealand earlier this year and I studied there. Like, I mean, in a classroom you have to be at the class every week or whenever it is, consistently. And for people who have other time commitments, I mean, it's way more convenient to do it on your own when you can do it at whatever hour. I've stayed up really, really late doing language exchanges and reading books and watching movies and TV shows. So you can do it whenever and wherever. I really like that about self-study. What do you got for me?
Well, on the flip side, learning in a classroom, you basically have a dedicated place of learning where you've set aside time specifically for learning that language. Basically make a schedule that revolves around it.
It's consistent.
You get time in and outside of the classroom to learn.
Yeah. Point number 3. Something really nice about self-study is you can do it while you're doing other things. You can multitask. There's a link in this video description to the last video I just posted, and it's about a program called Mango Languages. It talks about how you can listen to the courses while you're doing whatever it is you do. Yeah, that's something I really like about self-study is you can multitask. I spend so much time listening to podcasts and music and watching TV shows while I'm doing dishes, or doing language exchanges while I'm doing dishes, or doing chores, or driving, or whatever, commuting. That's really convenient.
Self-studying takes the cake on that particular point. It's easier to track progress in a classroom. You have things like tests and quizzes that will help you. Self-study also has those, but there's the whole issue of being self-graded.
Yeah.
You may be a little more biased towards yourself.
Yeah.
But with a classroom setting, you have a teacher who tries to be as impartial as possible, and with that you get a more fair and accurate representation of your skills in learning a language.
I really liked what you said about the grades, because I'm homeschooled and I've been learning Hebrew for a while, and with the state I had to turn in grades. There were no tests, there was no way to track progress, and that's really a struggle that a lot of language learners have. There's so many blog posts and Reddit threads that talk about, how to track your progress. I mean, that's a really big problem. People don't know how to measure their skills, and they say, what level am I at? I don't know what to do, because what I do will be tailored to the level that I'm at in the language. Yeah, I think as far as accountability and being able to track progress, I gotta say that the classroom's got the edge.
Well, a quick note on that point. Although yes, a classroom can be better for tracking, not every classroom is the same. So in one classroom you may be considered advanced, but in another you'd probably be intermediate. Like me, learning Japanese, the first semester I learned it, I was pretty much proficient to advanced. I'd say. But then going over second semester to a different classroom and taking a look at what they did, I was only halfway through what basically they'd been through.
Another really important and vital point on the self-study approach is you can adjust your method and your learning according to your learning style. With a classroom, oftentimes you have a textbook and you have a teacher that teaches in one way. That is if you have, like a normal teacher. If you have a good teacher, whatever, kudos to you. Oftentimes there's no opportunity to go and speak the language. I've met so many people and read so many blog posts about people who said, oh yeah, I went and took French in high school for 4 years and I don't remember a word of it. And part of that is because people will compartmentalize and only place learning in a classroom or at a school, and then they totally forget about it. They don't use it, they don't apply it to their life outside of the classroom. And in my opinion, I think that most of the learning takes place outside of the classroom. I mean, a language is a form of communication, and if you're not using it to communicate, you're going to lose it. I think that the self-study method kind of takes the cake there, because in a classroom you have a set number and it's all, very rigid in the methodology, which can be beneficial for people that aren't, motivated enough to learn consistently on their own. I think it's really hard to build fluency in a language in an environment where everything's so rigid.
I think I'd 75 to 80% agree with that. They give you the opportunity to actually go over to the country. I mean, you often have to raise a ridiculous amount of money, but
you have like fundraisers and stuff.
Yeah.
Instead of having to pay for it by yourself. Yeah.
The point is, you can go over. There can be opportunities there to help you further your language learning. That still does not cover everything. Like he said earlier, you don't really get any flexibility. It's all rigid up until that trip. Oftentimes, that's at the end of the year. So
after all of the learning has taken place.
Yes. Yeah. It's not really helping so much as giving you just real-world exposure to the language.
Yeah, so that's a good point, because so many language learners are broke. We don't have any money, partially because we spend it all on textbooks and courses. So, wrapping this up, there's pros and cons to both self-study and classroom language learning. The benefit of self-study is you can take control of your language learning and you don't put it in somebody else's hands. There's a really great quote, and it says, languages can't be taught, they can only be learned.
Honestly, I prefer classroom learning. However, that does not mean that I dislike self-study. It's just what I've learned about myself is I need someone basically to keep me accountable, and slacking off is basically what I'll do if I self-study.